very slippy. Very slippy. Very slippy. Oh,
Driveway.
Yes. Getting that I lost the plastic now. In the past, but I was
so she says to me, are you with me? I have to show you the nice of China. And I said, oh, you should come and...
And what Lama Zangmo is doing?
Playing around as usual. Playing with the guardians.
She's?
Oh. It's fairly soon that he's coming, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can take it off afterwards.
What you doing, Hanikonza?
Just putting the cotton on the top so that the reed fits on properly. Well, to be able to contribute to their retreats.
With details, you know, how to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Chanting,
Mm-hmm.
jarlings, radum, symbols,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing.
The daily routine is quite simple. You get up at 3:45, and then you have practice in your room until 6:30. Then at 6:30 you have vows together in the shrine room. Then breakfast. Then you have a session from 8:30 to 11:45. Then you have lunch break. Then you have afternoon session from 1:30 to 5, 4:45. Then you have a Mahakala puja together. So you have some group practice in the afternoon from 5 to 7. Then you have a tea break. Then at 7:30 you start again in your room, your session, and you carry on until 10:30, 11. So what is the use of all that? I think it's to kind of give you, it's quite intensive, and it's really meant to make practice really completely part of your being, yeah? So that you are not, you are focusing as much as possible all day in a pure way rather than in a mundane way. To shift the mind from triviality to really concern with essential points of life, to really be constantly brought back to your mind, is functioning, and it's dysfunctioning. So no escape, basically. That's the idea. So of course it creates a lot of, it can create a lot of tension, in people. So people, react differently to the tensions that come up. But ideally, if you can keep up the practice, the practice itself will take care of that, of what comes up, and there is nothing to reject. Like Rinpoche always said to me, if you're depressed, depression is your practice. If you're happy, happiness is your practice. You just kind of like, if you're feeling like, you can't take it anymore, or if you can actually sit with that and appreciate the frustration and practice with it, face it and look at it, then that's your practice. So it's not just reciting mantras, and it's also using your own mind as your practice. That's it. Your mind is your practice, and so that's and the actual texts, because they were written by very realized beings, they are helping to uplift the mind so that it can actually deal with those states of emotion and frustrations and whatever. You are developing, you're getting more and more in touch with the inner group, rather than the outer group. So that's what I feel is the main thing about retreat, such a retreat. Whether we succeed or not, that's really up to the individual. And it's not a question of being good or bad, it's a question also of karma, of what obstacles come up. But all in all, I think it does purify a lot of things. It does. And it is not a kind of experience where you get a medal at the end, or you get, you've done well, you get grades, A, B, C, D. It's not like that. Everybody is unique and everybody is learning something different. They often say, the main sign is that you have a little bit more tolerance. But that also is a question of, can vary from person to person.
Why am I here? Oh golly. Because it's about time I did something useful with my life. And so why put it off? This is a really great opportunity to cut out all the distraction and come face to face with who I am. And maybe then I can really answer what I'm here for in a more meaningful way. It's a great blessing. But no doubt it's going to be hard, actually. I'm thinking it's like, just right now, it kind of feels like setting sail on a voyage with 11 shipmates, we're on this ship called the Good Ship Holy Island. And we're just about to set sail across the stormy seas of some sort. But hopefully we'll reach the shore of enlightenment, maybe not in this retreat, but get there a little bit. However long it takes, we're going to get there in the end, so this is kind of like a bit of a boost, a kickstart. Because I have very, very good karma to be here. Having already done one retreat, I found a lot of benefit. It's funny, you don't find it so much while you're in there. You think, oh, I'm hopeless. I'm not going to become particularly holy. My mind was very wild at the beginning. Just seemed like even more wild at the end, or certainly in the middle.
But I found the benefit when I came out. I went back to Germany after 15 years. I spent 15 years in Saudi altogether, and then I went back to Germany. And I was much more able, not only able to cope with my own life. I had no problem at work with people, with my partner, with my family. But also I was able to meet other people in a different way and really help them a bit more. Still not like, I hope one day, one life to be able to help people like Akong Rinpoche does, but somewhere on the way, a little bit more. Before I think I was just totally wrapped up in my problems and just busy trying to escape my own suffering and not succeeding. For me, that's the benefit of the retreat, that not only that becomes less, you're less busy with that. Life is just okay. Of course, I still get ill, I still have back problems, I still get unhappy, I still get angry, but it's not so overwhelming. And I learned some Dharma that helped me, so I was able to pass it on to people. So I hope that's why I'm here. The question was why I'm here again. Is to be able to do even more of that. I hope to go back to Germany and help bring the Dharma there. So
yeah. For me, it was very easy coming into Buddhism because my father is a Buddhist. I did a short retreat when I left school, 9 months. And then I went into a 4-year retreat after university. So somehow I don't think I've got a huge amount of choice about my life, really. It just seems to happen, and even if I try and escape from all this Buddhist business, I can't do it.
It's a long journey, and I want to do this to move through the difficulties that block one coming from really loving or sentient beings. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It's the start of the journey. But here I have loving, kind teachers and the structure to keep you going forward, and not getting caught up in distractions. I'm hoping to make some progress in my ability to love.
Was very strongly Christian, but I wouldn't take anything at face value. Like when it was confirmation time, I went later and had my own classes and really questioned everything. And that went on until late teens, and I started going around different churches and trying them out and asking all the vicars and priests questions, and they usually couldn't answer them. So I thought, it's a waste of time, they don't know the answers. Then I sort of used to read books and hover around different religions, and then I was just getting fed up with it when I was about late 20s, I think. And I had this friend who had been living up on top of a hill trying to be a hermit, and he couldn't practically get it together. So he said, there's this Tibetan Lama coming to teach in Heian, and he's been living 12 years in Tibetan mountains. He'll tell me how to do it. Why don't you come along? So I went along, and that was it. I sort of met Lama Gendun, and just at the end of the session, he said, anybody want a blessing? I just ran up and bowed down in front of him and said yes. And I thought, what am I doing? This isn't like me. And that was the beginning of it, really. And then I had little babies at the time. Nothing much happened for a while after that. And then I took refuge in London with Colour Rinpoche and eventually went to Sammy Ling. And it all started rolling. But I just looked at Lama Gendun, he looked at me, and I thought, you only live because you love people. And I just knew when he looked at me, that was his whole motive for being on this planet, and that was enough for me. I thought, he knows and he loves, the big L and a big K.
totally pure teacher who has come from this line of this lineage which goes right back to the Buddha and Lama Yeshe too. You know, he's a very profound experience of meditation, and they have no self-interest at all. Everything they do is to benefit others, and they never stop.
And I think it will take some time before you really feel the benefits. But it certainly was very hard. And not what I expected. My idea of retreat and what this retreat was is two very different things. And I think, but I think what it has helped me to see is that really there is a lot of work to do, immense amount of work to do. And it's shown me very powerfully where my faults are, actually. Very powerful. There's no way now that I can escape them. I mean, once it's so easy to rationalize things outside there, you know. You asked me, what are the benefits of the retreat? And I think it's shown me very clearly what causes, in my own mind, what causes the unhappiness, you know, or the suffering. And that's the only thing that has to be let go of, and then all else, I don't know.
I was working with, the last years I was working with dying people, and what I saw, very, very few are prepared for the last step in this life, for dying. Very, very few pray or have looked more inside to get the strength and the hope inside. And I hope this letting go here this time is helping me to die, and also I become a better foundation to help other people.
I'm oldish, so that's been a huge teaching thing of I have my 60th birthday here, and when you know you haven't got much longer and that mortality gets closer, and in retreat you're asked to be aware of it. It comes into practices all the time, and that's really, really good too. Don't see yourself as just your body anymore. You can't grow without hard times, because the hard times you're clearing away the things that are your problems. Mm-hmm. That's why you're in them. Each time you do it, you tend to go down into the same one each time. Every person seems to have their own areas of depression or problem that we get him down into. It's the same one usually, or connected again and again. Each time you go down, if you really work with it, bring it to your practice and bring the practice to it, it just gets a bit less each time, then it stops. It doesn't just go. It becomes more transparent, more light, more less of something that is real, more of a dream. It just gets more like that each time. Mm-hmm.
For me, the main benefit and purpose of retreat is to get to face your own mind and to kind of see really clearly, face to face, that everything that you do, everything that happens to you, whatever situation you're in, is your own entire making. You've actually made it all. And so you're absolutely responsible for everything that happens to you. So you're not a victim. You are actually really made aware that there is no crying over spilled milk kind of thing. You know, like whatever you've done wrong, whatever, you can actually dissolve, and you can be free from all those the patterns, the tendencies, all the habits. All of this is not fatality. You can actually free yourself, and this is a great gift, to be able to really trust that, to have that confidence. Then of course there is still a lot of work to do after that. Once you've found that out, there is still a lot of work of cleaning up, purifying all those tendencies, and so that can take some time, and that's why I'm still in retreat. So, but I do have that trust, and because I've experienced it, I know that purification is the liberation, and all the practices that we have been given are meant to purify, and in a very, very efficient way. So I'm carrying on with that, and as I have done it already before, I'm happy to help others do the same, and hope for the best.
This is a balloon that my daughter sent to me. May all beings, as a congratulations on finishing my retreat balloon. It's a strange little tradition. I don't know why she sent it me. It just came with a little card, you know, and this balloon, when I blew it up, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and it ended at this size. So I thought I would write on it the 4 immeasurables, which is basically, it says, I'm just copying it from my book here. That's, may all beings be happy and create the causes of happiness. May they all be free from suffering and from creating the causes of suffering. May they attain that sacred happiness which can never be tainted by suffering, and may they attain universal, impartial compassion, free of worldly bias towards friends and enemies. I was doing what I wanted to do, and so I felt very blessed the whole time. I felt very, very fortunate. Of course, that's not to say I didn't have my ups and downs, you know, of course everybody does. But underlying that, I was where I wanted to be, doing what I wanted to do. And I know that it's a tremendous benefit to me, and therefore to anybody else that I will come into contact with in the future, because if I can improve my own way of being, even just a tiny little bit, that's, you know, it may only be a small amount, but it will ripple out, you know. I mean, the proof of the pudding is in the eating, and I've not left the island yet, so I can't tell you what the effect will be when I leave.
but I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I've had.
Really attain.
Not without permission, we wouldn't.
Only this woman. Take care, 3 years, you know.
Yeah, you take care. You come back and visit me.
Down to the jetty actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, I got my orders off at Christie.
What a nice guy.
May we live long and be free of illness. All our practice our and benefit things. That's no. That's the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
The middle we don't mind. May we live long and be free of illness. Have all great resources and happiness. Next life may we be reborn in the pure realms. May we always practice Dharma and benefit beings. That's all. That's a beauty. Wow. This is our mind. Yes.